some books for you guys. Today we are reading Garfield Reading a Queen movie. Okay. Who's this read by, Mama?
Nicole Johnson.
This been written by Nicole Johnson. And anybody else?
Nope.
Okay, this been only by him. So some books might not have one article. So what's it say?
Garfield was living the dream. He had a cozy house with plenty of places to nap. He could order all the food he wanted. Pepperoni pizza and garlic bread were always delicious. For breakfast, lunch, of course, would be something entirely different, as well as dinner, dessert, and snacks. So many foods, so little time. All right, ready? Life hadn't always been great, though. When Garfield was a kitten, his dad left him alone to fend for himself in this crazy world. One dark and stormy night, Garfield had wandered along an empty street while the cold rain soaked his fur. Then, through a restaurant window, he saw a kind-looking man sitting all by himself. The man, John, let Garfield in and gave him some food. That was the day Garfield fell in love.
So these are the pictures, and let's switch the base to see what we see.
With lasagna. Now Garfield was all grown up and living with John. They even had a pet Odie, a sweet dog and a reliable sidekick. Garfield liked to watch TV, play with Odie, and take care of John.
Okay, let's get the pace.
Garfield also loved his midnight snacks. What are we feeling today? He asked Odie in the kitchen one night as they stared into the beautiful, fully stocked fridge. But before Garfield could pick something out, two scary dogs crawled through the window. They scooped up Garfield and Odie and stuffed them into big bags.
How sad that is.
Garfield and Odie were pet-napped. The dogs, Roland and Nolan, brought them to an abandoned mall. I think this is a case of mistaken identity, Garfield said, as the dogs tied them up. You must be looking for another gorgeous, lovable kitty cat, right? Just then, a big cat approached them. Garfield couldn't believe who it was. It was his dad, Vic. Garfield was in shock and didn't know what to say. And then a fluffy cat named Jinx arrived. Like Garfield, she was not a fan of Vic. She explained to Garfield and Odie that she and Vic had been friends once, but Vic had abandoned her too. Now Jinx wanted milk, 1,675 quarts of milk. She demanded 1 quart for every day she had spent locked up in a cat pound. She told Vic, Garfield, and Odie that they had to get it for her. But Garfield didn't want to help his dad. He was still very mad at Vic. Jinx gave Garfield 2 choices, either get the milk or face Roland and Nolan. Garfield looked over at the dogs who were tearing up some mannequins with their super sharp teeth. He gulped. He had to help Vic, even if he didn't want to.
So that is not right because he been getting mail, but he got one and he cried and picked it back up, but he got eaten that and he cried come back eating. But Dad, why he could this small apple bear? Oh, then he will get eaten bad. So let's put the page and see what it says.
To get the milk, Garfield, Vic, and Odie took a train to a farm that Vic knew. On the way, Garfield and Vic wouldn't stop arguing. Vic thought Garfield was a spoiled indoor cat, and Garfield thought Vic was someone he couldn't count on. You can't make up for 5 years of not being around, Garfield replied angrily. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Can't. While the fighting went on, Odie made Garfield a comfy place to sleep. Right, when Garfield yelled, "You don't know the first thing about me," to Vic. Odie handed him a warm blankie. I'm not pampered, Garfield added.
Oh, yes, too.
When they arrived at the farm, Garfield saw what was much bigger and darker than Vic had said, plus there were guards and a giant fence. Quaint, Garfield remarked. The group knew they needed a good plan. Luckily, Garfield saw Otto, a bull who once lived there. The grumpy old bull drew out an outline of the farm and told them the best way to get the milk. Then Otto put Vic and Garfield through the intense training.
No, that's son. Okay. Here is actually son. It's because you see, so many dogs in my world like this. And a plane. He might be a little bit nicer. He couldn't be. Do we all yet? It's fun. Okay, let's switch the pace. Okay. Let's wait. So, Mama. Okay. So, I guess I had a wee or Dada.
Dada can do it.
Okay, Dada can wee. Okay. Throw him. Dada, throw him.
Can we read it?
Yeah.
Okay, give me just a second.
Okay, we almost over, don't worry. It's just a boy. It's a whole. No, I tried to a stone, not you. It's just a whole kind of book and movie.
Where are we?
We are right here.
Okay.
Go, Dada.
Okay, hold on just a second. Let me get. Garfield and Vic ran, jumped, and slid around the forest, but they still could not get along. Garfield was mad that Vic left him as a kitten, and Vic was mad that Garfield would not listen to why. If this is going to work, these two have to be on the same page, Otto said. Got any ideas? Odie forced Vic and Garfield to talk to each other the only way he could think of, by tying them to a tree. Eventually, Garfield and Vic struggled long enough to have a calm discussion.
I wonder why is Odie not helping him, guys?
Vic explained that he had left Garfield that night long ago only to find food for them, but when he returned, he saw Garfield was with John. He was safe, warm, and fed.
So he might have gone back to his daddy.
I saw what a great life you had, Vic said sadly, so I thought it was better if I kept my distance. But while Garfield was growing up, he would sit in a big tree outside John's house and watch his son from afar. Garfield couldn't believe it. His father had really cared for him all those years. Now Otto was sure they were ready for their mission. The next morning, Garfield, Vic, and Odie snuck onto the farm. The group ran into the electrical room and climbed up into the vents. There they could walk all the way to the loading dock.
He's so cute.
But they were too heavy for the vents, and Garfield fell straight down into the factory.
What I got still.
Before Vic and Odie could help Garfield back up, the floor beneath them suddenly opened, and Garfield fell again and landed on one of his most favorite things ever, cheese. Oh, cheddar, Garfield explained. Then a buzzer sounded and a clock began counting down. What do you think happens when it gets to 0?
I don't know what that part means, but it's sweet, yeah. Done?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Where you stay here?
Yeah, that would be.
Okay. Hot, 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 Vic shouted as he jumped over the fondue pots and slid to the rescue. Climbing off the butter, the group made it to the loading dock, ready to hop onto a milk truck and drive off into the sunset. But then a security guard named Marge was waiting for them. I've already called the pound, Marge said. Your days are numbered.
Oh, what got so Odie?
Yeah. Sorry about that, Vic said. Then he threw Garfield and Odie into Marge, knocking her down. He grabbed the milk truck keys and ran out, leaving Garfield and Odie behind. Garfield couldn't believe that Vic had left him once again. Soon the people from the pound arrived and took Garfield and Odie away.
The dog did.
Thanks to Odie's collar, though, the pound called John, who quickly picked Garfield and Odie up and brought them home. It's great to be together again, John said, hugging them tightly. The whole entire family. But Garfield felt that his family was not complete. He thought about Vic.
Oh, he's back with his say. I told you he should be back with his say.
Garfield raced outside and across the street to the base of a big tree. Looking up, he spotted Vic. just where he said he had always sat. Garfield realized Vic had known the pound would see Odie's collar and called John. His dad knew they would be safe. "So you coming in, or do we have to bring food up there?" Garfield asked. Vic quickly climbed down the tree and gave Garfield a great big hug. Garfield led his dad into the house, happy now that his family was complete. He truly was living the dream.
Oh, this is